Long before time had a name, seven cosmic omnipotent beings existed. These, in their mortal forms, were dragons, hence creating the seven source dragons. What their original names are not known to us, but the names of the sources were motion, strength, flow, focus, energy, balance, and life. Balance being the core of them, which we'll see later on. Now, these seven source dragons created 16 realms, and after which, the first realm, the original, was born the Oni and the dragon, destruction and creation, two opposites who plunged into an eternal war. The child of these two was the first Spinjitzu master who chose neither side and decided to create his own 17th realm known as Ninjago using the four weapons of Spinjitzu: the Scythe of Quakes for the element of earth, the Shurikens of ice for ice, nunchucks of lightning for lightning, and the Sword of Fire for fire. These four weapons had a power immeasurable. Now, the first Spinjitzu master got his name as the first Spinjitzu master by now, once the first Ninjitsu master entered Ninjago, he noticed an abysmal flood taking over the place, caused by the giant sea serpent Ujira. You can also pronounce the name as Wahira. And he was still a child, so he enlisted the help of a Merlopian named Naiad. Merlopians are sea people, and they're also keepers who protect a sacred amulet known as the Storm Amulet. Naiad merged with the endless sea to become a water elemental, destroying the wave amulet on Ojira's forehead and entrusted the storm amulet to the keepers. Now that Ninjago was clear of the flood, the first Ninjutsu master came to another problem: the Overlord. The Overlord was the source of all evil in this world, and him and the first Ninjutsu master went into a decade-long war known as the Stone Wars, upon which the Overlord had his army of stone warriors, and the first Ninjutsu master had his golden mech and dragon. Since this war would never end, the first Ninjutsu master used his sword and cut Ninjago into two, the Ninjago and the Dark Island. After finally solving all of these problems, the first Ninjutsu master had settled down and fathered two sons, Wu and Garmadon. Garmadon, when he was a child, got bitten by a snake infected by the Overlord's evil when playing outside, and that evil slowly started corrupting his heart and making it way up and up, which will eventually corrupt Garmadon, which we'll see later. This is where Wu began creating his own problems. So it's a bit of a long story, but Wu and Garmadon one day, I guess, wandered out because Wu was an adventurous young kid, and they wandered into the territory of the Serpentine, Snake People, Hypnobrai, Fangfire, Anacondrai, Minamari, and I forgot the name of the Constricti. Yeah. So basically, the Serpentine are snake people who live about, and basically there was a treaty that the snakes would never cross into human territory, and the humans would never cross there. Wu broke this rule because he was a kid. And now the leader of the snakes, the Snake King, he sort of felt bad for them, but he didn't want to punish them, so he forced them to stay there for a day. But while this was happening, Wu befriended a snake lady named Asphira who promised to let them out if Wu shared the secrets of Spinjitzu with her. Wu did, and once they got out, Asphira became power hungry and corrupted with Spinjitzu and took over the kingdom of the Serpentine. Now, this was around the same time when the first Spinjitzu master had created the technology of forbidden Spinjitzu, which was way too powerful and not good for normal people, as it would corrupt their mind unless you had a strong willpower. Wu and Garmadon disobeyed their father's orders to not use it and used it to take over the kingdom and kick out Asphira, bringing peace to the Serpentine again. And Asphira was banished and put into a tomb in a desert. Keep this in mind because Wu does not mention this to his later students, which is very important. Now, once the first Ninjutsu master died, Wu and Garmadon went their separate ways. Wu had his own student named Moro, who was an orphan found lying around. Wu adopted him. This is sort of like a tie-line story in which Wu thought that Moro would become the legendary Green Ninja, a warrior prophesied to defeat the Overlord and all evil, basically. But Moro was he basically grew a bit cocky because Wu sort of trained him to believe that he was becoming the Green Ninja, but he didn't. Destiny didn't choose him, and Moro wandered off trying to force Destiny to listen to him and make him the Green Ninja. Garmadon, on the other hand, went with Master Chen and his other student Klaus, who had a bit of rivalry with Garmadon. Now, this is where a lot of stuff happens. First of all, we have Misako, a lady who both Wu and Garmadon have a crush on. Wu writes her a love letter, forgets to sign it. Garmadon intercepts it and sort of gets manipulated by Chen into signing it. And Misako falls in love with him, and they have a child called Lloyd, who is very important to the story and one of the greatest characters in all of fiction. But right now, let's keep him aside. Garmadon slowly gets manipulated by Chen, and Chen sort of gives him an idea to go visit and learn the teachings of Shatterspin. I'm not gonna elaborate too much on this because this doesn't really come for a long time later in the video, but basically Shatterspin is a martial art created by 5 forbidden spinjitzu masters, not forbidden, they were called the Forbidden 5 elemental masters who were basically evil and wanted to conquer all the realms, and created a technique called Shatterspin, a corrupted version of spinjitzu for which you need to shatter your soul to use. They were defeated by 2 dragons, Ekong and Rontu, who made their own rising dragon technique to counter it. Now, the Forbidden 5 were locked away in another space where time and space does not happen, so let's just leave them aside. Garmadon goes to the Shadow Dojo and learns a more basic version of Shatterspin, which doesn't shatter your soul, comes back and figures out Master Chen has manipulated the Elemental Alliance and tried to take over Ninjago, causing the first Serpentine War, in which the Elemental Masters use snake flutes. You might have seen, snake charmers using the flutes to charm the snakes. They use these to trap the Serpentine underground, and the Anacondri, the main leaders of the Serpentine, are banished and sent to the Cursed Realm. Chen becomes balanced to his island, and Klaus is also remained there. Oh my god, I said balanced, I mean banished. God, my English sucks. But after this, Garmadon and Wu finally have some peace until the Time Twins, 2 elemental masters of time, Crux and Acronix. Crux having the power to reverse and stop time, and Acronix having the power to forward and put time in slow motion, become arrogant and think that controlling time controls everything. The elemental masters defeat him with the help of Ray and Maya, the masters of fire and water respectively, who are a blacksmith couple who make blades forged of chrono steel which can absorb elemental powers, sending Acronix 40 years into the future, which Wu again doesn't mention, and Crux away, and Crux takes on the disguise of Dr. Sanders Saunders and kidnaps Ray and Maya in the inevitable return of Acronix to plot another world-ending scam. Whatever. Let's leave this to the side. Now, Garmadon has finally been corrupted by the Great Devourer, and he tries to use the golden weapons to take over Ninjago. Master Wu tries to stop him with reason and logic, but Garmadon's venom has corrupted his mind so much that he refuses to listen, which results in Wu banishing him to the underworld through a spell on his kimono. Wu, now realizing the danger imminent to the present, hides the 4 golden weapons in the paws of 4 dragons, I guess, claws, yeah, and sets out on a quest to find 4 ninja to bear these weapons and protect Ninjago. This is where our story begins with Cole. Yeah, you thought I was gonna say Kai, right? No, let's start originally from Cole. Cole was the first ninja Master Wu found. His mom, Lily, was a close friend of Master Wu, and she was the original Elemental Master of Earth. Not the original as an Elemental War Alliance original, because that was her dad, Cole's grandpa. But Lily was the second Master of Earth after him, who had a bunch of cool adventure shenanigans in this kingdom named Shintaro, where she saved the people from a dragon named Griefbringer. After settling down, however, she sadly died when Kun was still a child, and his father, too engrossed with the death of his wife, decided to cope with it by focusing on his career, leaving Cole to be sad and distressed and focus on improving his physical activity by climbing mountains. Zane's backstory is I'm gonna make you guys figure out the same way we figured out, so I'm not gonna tell you the plot twist. It was a nice little guy who was very calm and peaceful. He was a bit unusual from everyone else, but he's the smartest ninja out of all of them. And Master Wu found him and he was meditating in an icy lake. Jay's mom, the elemental master of lightning, was a really nice woman, but she married a very great actor named Cliff Gordon, who turned out to be a terrible and deadbeat dad. So he forced her to abandon Jay, leaving him to be adopted at a junkyard by two loving people named Ed and Edna. Growing up in the junkyard, Jay grew to be an inventor where he met Master Wu. And fourth and finally, Kai, the master of fire, and his younger sister Nia were the workers in a blacksmith shop whose parents, Ray and Maya, got kidnapped by Crux and Acronics. Now, Kai and Nia's schematic is actually really cool, with Kai getting hot-headed at everyone, but not at Nia, because she calmed him down. She also manages to rage bait him quite well. When Samukai and the Skulkins, sent by Garmadon, attacked the blacksmith shop known as Four Weapons Blacksmith, as Ray, a friend of Wu, had hid the map to the golden weapons in the banner of the shop. The Skulkins steal the banner and kidnap Nia as per Garmadon's order, and just before Kai is about to get killed by Samukai, Master Wu arrives in time to train him. The four ninja meet up with each other, with Jay being the Master of Lightning, Zane Master of Ice, and Cole Master of Earth. These four ninja set across to find the weapons. First, they go to the Caves of Despair and meet Rocky, the Earth Dragon, to find the site of Quakes. The Shurikens of Ice are in the Claws of Shard, and the Nunchucks of Lightning are in a tall spire upon a mountain. The location isn't really specified, but it's in a really high place guarded by Wisp. The ninja narrowly escape the dragons, and the final sword of fire is in the fire temple where Nia is held captive by Garmadon, who taunts Kai and tricks him into leaving the other ninja. Kai manages to save Nia and take the sword, but this unleashes Flame, the guardian of the sword. Kai manages to befriend him and teaches the other three ninja, who have been ambushed by Samukai in the middle of the night, and Wu, who had gone to help Kai fight Garmadon, because, he's a 1,000-year-old master. He knows what happens. Garmadon lures Wu back into the underworld, where the Skulkins have returned. Wu fights Samukai, the other three ninja escape, and Kai manages to help them befriend each of their dragons, where they travel into the underworld, and Samukai uses the golden weapons to try and kill Garmadon, but he fails as the power is too strong. This creates a portal into the realm of madness where Garmadon escapes and the ninja reunite, and turns out Jay has developed a crush on Nia now. A couple of weeks later, the ninja are now happily living in the monastery and have now become very close as brothers, sort of, when they hear reports that Lord Garmadon has been sighted at Jamanakai village. When they show up to there, it turns out it's just his son, Lloyd, who, if you remember, was the son of Garmadon and Misako. And Misako, when figuring out about the prophecy of the Green Ninja, figured that Lloyd would be the Green Ninja, which does eventually turn out to be true. But instead of, being a normal person and talking out or doing something, she just abandons him at a boarding school for bad boys where Lloyd is too nice. So he tries to get back in by stealing candy from the villagers. The ninja obviously stop him and just forget about him, and they go back, but Lloyd decides to unleash the Serpentine, who are sealed underground. Lloyd first goes to the tomb of the Hypnobrai and manages to release them, which causes a giant upheaval as the ninja figure out that Serpentine are real, as till now they thought they were fake. The Serpentine burned down the monastery, but Zane manages to find the Destiny's Bounty, a ship which originally belonged to a buyer crew. I'm not going to talk about that now, with the help of a robotic falcon. Well, if you don't know he's robotic, oh god, I spoiled that. And the ninja now have a new hope. Lloyd, unsatisfied with the Hypnobrai, goes to release the Fangpire, but turns out they're in cahoots, so he goes to Pythor P. Chumsworth, the last of the Anacondrai. Pythor has a plan to release the Great Devourer, the snake that bit Garmadon, who has now become a huge serpent that can basically eat Ninjago for breakfast, by finding 4 different fang blades at the city of Ouroboros. The ninja now encounter a new figure named a samurai who's going around saving people before them, who is eventually revealed to be Nia, who got sick of the boys going out and having fun and saving the world, and decides to do the badass move of making her own cool samurai mech. Kai, who's the first to find out, makes promises not to tell anyone until she thinks it's time. The ninja go on to unlock their true potentials. Zane figures out he's a robot built by Dr. Julian, a person who had no children, so he made Zane with the best of his ability and made him sentient and conscious. Zane can think and feel like a human being, but Dr. Julian didn't want Zane to remember as he wanted him to have a normal life, so before he died, he turned Zane's memory switch off. Zane, now figuring this out, unlocks his true potential and saves the ninja from a bunch of tree monsters. Jay unlocks his true potential while going on a date with Nia, who the Serpentine have figured out is the Samurai X, and chain her up to a roller coaster, which is broken, essentially making her fall to her doom. Nia tells Jade not to, because basically, going on the date, he's practicing a lot of lines and everything, just trying to act different. Nia tells him that she loves him for who he is, and Jay unlocks his true potential, becomes super fast, and stops Coach from falling. Cole's dad, if you remember, was a guy who coped with the loss of his wife by going on with his career, which was a royal blacksmith, which is basically the name of their band, a bunch of dancers and singers. Cole told his dad that he was going to become a dancer, but ran away to become a ninja. And he unlocks his true potential by saving his dad from falling under a giant portion of building after Pythor finds them and tries to kill them. Kai's true potential is unlocked at the Fire Temple, where the search for the last Fang Blade happens. Lloyd is captured by the snakes, and Wu has brought back Garmadon from the realm of madness to save Lloyd, but the Fire Temple erupts and everyone escapes except Kai, Lloyd, and the Fang Blade, who are still inside. Kai saves Lloyd and unlocks his true potential as it's revealed that Lloyd is the Green Ninja, and Garmadon is hit with the discovery that he's going to have to find his own child. While all of this was happening, Pythor steals the last Fang Blade and unleashes the Great Devourer. Wu goes to stop him, but not in time before the Devourer swallows him and Pythor whole. The ninja, who are now trapped and away from the Destiny's bounty, which has been eaten by the Devourer, try to do their best at the junkyard to do the Tornado of Creation by merging their spinjitzus to make an ultrasonic raider, which sort of works, except it just gets them to Ninjago City and not able to do anything. Meanwhile, the dragons, the ninja's dragons from the pilots who had gone earlier to do a metamorphosis, had come back as the Ultra Dragon, and the ninja give Garmadon the golden weapons to defeat the Devourer, which does, because he does work, but he escapes with them. The ninja now decides to start training Lloyd for his eventual battle with his father. The ninja begin to train Lloyd at this place called Darrett's Mojo Dojo, and Darrett's actually a good character. He's legitimately one of the best side characters in all of Ninjago. Garmadon allies with this Serpentine, the remaining Serpentine, and makes a bunch of schemes like going back in time and sending the mega weapon to space, bringing back a pirate crew who originally belonged on the Destiny's bounty, where Nia and her Mac saves everyone. And most importantly, he goes back and reawakens a monster called the Grundle, which basically causes the ninja to all be kids, and Lloyd has to take the Tomorrow's Tea, which brings the Grundle to extinction, but also ages up Lloyd. I think Ninjago does a really good job of showing Lloyd's trauma, alright? So in the beginning, even though, he was a bratty kid, but poor kid got kicked out of a boarding school because of his horrible mom, and was probably homeless for days, and he got abused by villagers because he was stealing candy of all things. Keep in mind, he's 10 years old, and then gets captured and held up by snakes and is about to die. And then once he gets some peace and is safe with the ninja, he has to skip all of his childhood, leave all of his joys behind to save the world. You gotta appreciate the kid. But that saves the day. The Serpentine now abandon Garmadon and put him on the Dark Island, while they get trapped underground, and the Devourer's venom has awakened the Overlord Stone Army. The ninja, now learning about the Dark Islands, story sort of from Misako, because now she decides to show up. Of course, once your kid is 15 or 16, physically, mentally, he's still a kid, mind you that. And they go on a venture to the Dark Island to stop the Overlord's schemes. Like a bunch of kids are gonna be able to do anything, but whatever. And they find a lighthouse and they find Dr. Julian. So Zane has a wonderful reunion. So it turns out when Dr. Julian died, Samukai brought him back to build weapons and armor for this Skulkin and machines. He refused, but Samukai basically threatened him by killing Zane. I mean, logically, if your son is a robot, why would he be this worried about? I guess every parent cares about their kids, even if their kids are robots. Whenever Lloyd goes to the Temple of Light, and the ninja get elemental blades and transfer the power to him, making him the ultimate. Giving him golden power, but the Overlord possesses Garmadon, and Lloyd is unable to fight him because he still sees his dad in him. Garmadon managed to hold off the Overlord a bit, but he still breaks Lloyd's leg and corrupts Nia using dark matter, and goes to the back to Ninjago. I was going to say back to the overworld. This is in Minecraft. So the ninja, the ninja's Ultra Dragon from Season 1 comes to save him, and they go to the Ninjago, but Jay, Zane, and Cole all get corrupted by dark matter, as the Overlord is now in his true dragon form, and not dragon form from the future. Like, he's literally a dragon, a dark evil dragon on top of the tallest tower in Ninjago City. Kai manages to get Lloyd up to the tower before he is also overwhelmed by all the other residents who've also been imbued with dark matter, and the ninja are about to die. But Dareth gets the helmet that controls the Stone Army. Okay, Garmadon had that. I don't know how. I guess it fell off him when he became the Overlord, and he manages to stop the Stone Army for a second. Lloyd turns into the ultimate Spinjitzu Master and beats the shit out of the Overlord. And we get a good Sensei Garmadon now. So, sort of a happy ending. Alright, Season 3, we got a lot going on. For starters, we got tech genius Cyrus Borg, who invites all the ninja who are now teachers, which does not make any sense as they're all teenagers, into his workplace, the Borg Tower, where Zane gets a girlfriend. Pixel stands for Primary Interactive External Assistant Lifeform, and they fall in love. Turns out the Overlord is alive as the digital Overlord. The ninja get new techno blades to hack into the Digiverse to get rid of him, but the Overlord has a new army of Nindroids who are basically like Zane but smarter and stronger, but without the humanity in him. They capture Master Wu and turn him evil. The ninja hack into the Digiverse and manage to defeat the Overlord, but the Nindroids go into space to collect the Mega Weapon and Golden Weapons to fuse into the Golden Armor, bringing back the Overlord as the Golden Master. The ninja attempt to stop him with the last stand at the Temple of Fortitude, where Lloyd gives his elemental powers back to the ninja, becoming the Great Ninja once more, and Zane sadly sacrifices himself, causing one of the best episodes of Ninjago, but also one of the saddest moments. And they make as he redirects the Golden Master's powers back at him, destroying him, but also destroying his body. The ninja make a statue and hold a memorial for him, as we get into one of the second best seasons of Ninjago, Season 4. The ninja have now gone their separate ways. Kai becomes an underground fighter in a street ring. Cole becomes a lumberjack. Jay is hosting his own game show, and Lloyd, Nia, Wu, and Garmadon are the only ones back in the monastery, which has now been rebuilt, we can assume. The ninja see random posters of Zane, which piques their interest, letting the team get back together, with Jay and Cole still having a bit of bad blood in between. This is why AI should not determine your relationship, guys. This is what you can learn from Rebooted. This is very important. Back to the story. They figured out the Master Chen, the same Chen from like 40 years ago. Well, chronologically, it was like 40 years ago. Is back, and he's holding a tournament of elements, which is secretly a ploy to steal all the elements and bring back the Anaconda. Garmadon comes with them, as he's naturally worried of what Chen is gonna do, and turns out and Kai falls in love with Chen's daughter Skylar, who is secretly working against him. Chen's plan would have worked, and Cole and Jay reconcile as Cole sacrifices himself in the tournament, leading to his elements getting stolen, so that him and Jay no longer have to be enemies. Like I said, Chen's plan would have worked if it weren't for the fact that Skylar manages to fall for Kai and helps him stop his plan. Zane and Pixel, who is also destroyed and hunted by a bounty hunter named Ronin, turns out that Zane has rebuilt himself into a titanium body, and Pixel is now inside of Zane's head, which is pretty cool, I guess. Chen steals all of the elements, not before Kai manages to take the Staff of Elements and break it, giving out everyone their powers back and trapping Chen and his cultists on the island. But Chen manages to free Python, who actually survived, and turns out he was one of the Overlord's major suppliers in Season 3, as the Devourer's venom had turned him white. Python also has this cool gimmick in Season 3 where he uses electric eels. It's super cool, and I totally forgot to mention that. I should have mentioned that. Python is now in Cryptarium prison. Chen tries to break him out and force him to bring the Anaconda back, but for the first time, Pythor does something good. He knows it's gonna be bad and knows that it's disrespectful to his ancestors. Chen doesn't listen. They complete the spell and bring the Anaconda back. But Arturus, the leader of the Anaconda, who is now at peace in the departed realm, curses Chen and Klaus, Garmadon's rival, if you remember, to go to the cursed realm. Sky and Skylar now reconcile, and yeah, this season was super cool. Y'all should watch it. I can't explain it that well because I'm not good at explaining things, but yeah. Moving on to Season 5. So, at the end of Season 4, Garmadon had to sacrifice himself to send everyone back into the Cursed Realm. This also sent Garmadon back into the Cursed Realm. But what happened was that when this happened, this also brought back the ghost of Morrow, Wu's old student. Morrow is now super angry at Wu and wants revenge on him, so he possesses Lloyd, and this naturally causes the ninja's powers to go haywire. Nia, as Samurai X, decides to confront Morrow, but he just possesses her mech, and Master Wu tells Nia that just how Kai took on the powers of Rei, Nia has to take on the powers of Maya and become the elemental master of water. The ninja take help from Ronin, the bounty hunter Zane, who is now in a weird position because one of the ghosts on Morrow's side is hunting down Ronin for a debt Ronin never repaid. So Ronin temporarily allies with the ninja and manages to give them a bunch of clues, and Morrow turns out wants to bring back the Preeminent, which is literally the cursed realm on boots. The ninja go to the Temple of Air Jitsu to learn the art of Air Jitsu. It's basically Spinjitsu but can fly. But Cole, the thing in the Temple of Air Jitsu is that if you get out after sunrise, you turn into a ghost, and Cole sadly was a bit too late and he becomes a ghost. The ninja now have arrow blades and have learned Air Jitsu and are a formidable counter to Morrow, and the ninja managed to get Morrow out of Lloyd's body, but not before Morrow has the Realm Crystal and brings back the Preeminent. Nia unlocks her true potential and makes a badass water tornado, which takes on the Preeminent. Morrow has a redemption arc and gives the crystal back to Wu as he realizes that you can only save those who can be saved, and Morrow has now come to peace with his terms and realizes that he was never meant to be the Green Ninja. This also means that Garmadon and everyone else in the Cursed Realm is now dead because they killed the Cursed Realm. Okay, so yeah, since his Garmadon sacrifice will not be in vain until he comes back 3 seasons later. I'm not spoiling. So as it turns out, when Nia destroyed the Cursed Realm, she also accidentally destroyed Ninjago, a realm of the Jinn, who are genie-like creatures, as all the 16 realms, including Ninjago, so all 17 realms are connected. Klaus, the ghost of Klaus, has somehow managed to escape and finds an ancient teapot, the teapot of Tyran, and brings back an evil Jinn named Nadakon, who tricks him by wishing himself into a Jinn blade, a sword that sucks the souls out of anyone, and if they're in the blade for too long, they'll die. Basically, they'll be sort of like Okay, how do I explain this? Like Dementors. Like if a Dementor sucks the soul out of a person from Harry Potter. Okay, that's the best way I can explain this. Nanakon is super angry at the ninja for naturally because they destroyed the cursed realm and frames them by using his magic to transform into them and makes a lot of super different crimes, getting the ninja hunted down by Ronin, who now, because he's a bounty hunter, so money pays, whatever pays the bills. The ninja are now in Cryptarium prison when they figure more about Nadakon. Nadakon, who is now satisfied with his revenge until he sees Nia's picture. So Nadakon had a girlfriend back in the day, a pirate girlfriend called Lara, who looks very similar to Nia. So Nadakon now wants to marry Nia, which is super pedophilic when you think about it. Like, bro's a 2,000-year-old Jin. Bro, she's 15. Leave her alone. But the ninja break out of prison, and Nia keeps putting Jay in the friend zone now because of all the love triangle shit that happened in season 3. Jay is the only one who's not captured by the Jin Blade. Jay and Nia as Kai. Kai falls first in the Jin Blade by wishing to see his father, and he sees Ray, but as a blacksmith selling his stuff. And because Kai wants to know what happened to him naturally, but then Bro gets tricked into ending wished away. Zane plays a game of chess with Nadakon and loses. How could you, Zane? I thought you were the smartest. But it's fine. Bro's, again, Nadakon's 2,000 years old. Makes sense. He knows a lot of bullshit. They can win. And Zane also gets trapped. Wu and Misako figure out about Nadakon not before they also get trapped in the Jin Blade. Whew. That's a lot. Jay and Nia, Lloyd, and Cole are the last ones who Nadakon are coming for. Lloyd and Cole give Jay and Nia time to go to the lighthouse, Dr. Julian's lighthouse, where Nia sort of confessed to Jay about how she never wanted to do all this because in the start it was Kai's sister, then it was Jay's girlfriend, and Samurai X was the only part when she actually felt like she was owned. Because after season 5 and the ninja started getting really famous for killing the preeminent, everyone was referring to Nia as the girl. And naturally, when you get singled out and everyone thinks you're worse than everyone else, you will feel angry, you will feel bitter, and it's really, honestly, I understand Nia, okay? I understand what she's going through. Nia gets captured by Nadakon, who tries to force her to marry him, but Jay assembles a ragtag group of heroes who steal the Jin Blade and manage to save everyone inside it from its effects. And they go not before Nadakon is successful in marrying Nia, who is now possessed by the Lara spirit. The ninja collect Tiger Widow venom. A tiger widow is a spider, and its venom is one of the few things that can kill a Jin at its full power. And they shoot, but it accidentally hits Nia. Jay wishes for the teapot of Tyrion to never be found, and for Nia to have taken his hand. Basically, being a couple. Here's the thing: you cannot wish for love, you cannot wish for death, and you cannot wish for more wishes. Meaning, Nia taking Jay's hands was on her side, meaning we finally have Jay and Nia back together, and we finally have Nadakon out of the way. So basically everyone except Jay and Nia have forgotten about this whole thing. I mean, Master Wu might know and Lloyd might know, but I don't think anyone else knows. How does Lloyd know? I don't know. He's the Green Ninja. Maybe he's got some sort of prophetic kind of ability. I don't know. And now we have Day of the Departed, which is this out of the way. We finally get back full circle with Crux and Acronix, the time twins from, again, 4 years back. Acronix is now returned into the future where Wu remembers him but didn't tell the ninja, just like he didn't tell them about Moro or the Serpentine or literally anything else. Like, dude, you may be a good sensei, but at least tell your students about what you have done. Acronix comes, Wu kicks his ass until Acronix gets the forward time blade and ages him super old. Kai and Acronix reunites with the Crux, and they start building an army of Vermilion warriors. When the ninja defeat these, Kai finds a helmet and he does a bit of research on it and figures out that it's the same mark that his parents had when making their weapons. And Kai now grows suspicious and believes that his parents are working for the Vermilion, which is true except they're forced to. So Kai and Nia go in search of them and find them, but they get blackmailed by Crux and Acronix, into collecting the reversal blade for them as well. They go into the boiling sea where only the masters of fire and water combined can take the dragon blade and get the reversal blade. They come back with the reversal blade and manage to reverse Wu, but not before the Time Twins steal it and make a machine called Iron Doom, a time travel machine that can go anywhere, and they go back in time to when they fought with the Elemental Alliance to try and get Wu and Garmadon then to surrender. However, Kai, Nia, and Wu hijack the Iron Doom and have a fight in the Doom, where we also figure out there's a new Samurai X who is actually Pixel, but I kind of spoiled that, didn't I? But anyways, Wu fights Wu and the Time Twins get lost in time. This is where, remember I talked about Garmadon in Season 5? Or Season 4 actually. Well, he's about to come back. So, a long time ago, in Season 1, when the Great Devourer got released, there was a little girl named Harumi who was a big fan of the ninja. Sadly, her parents died because of the Devourer and causing her to hate the ninja with immense fuel and rage. She also loved Garmadon because he was the one who killed the Devourer. So Harumi begins a plan to collect 3 Oni masks of warlords: the Mask of Hatred, the Mask of Vengeance, and the Mask of Deception. The 3 masks being those of Mistake, Venge, and Desert, who are now dead. And she has assembled a group of villains who together are known as the Sons of Garmadon. Lloyd has a run-in with one of these villains known as Mr. E, because he's a mystery who has stolen the Mask of Vengeance, and Harumi has been adopted by the royal family. Keep in mind, no one knows that she's evil, for now. The ninja take Harumi in, as Harumi has secretly plotted for the Sons of Garmadon to steal the Mask of Deception and kill her adoptive parents, because she's a dick. Like, actually, why would you kill them? They took care of you. That's just bitchy behavior of her, honestly. I'm not gonna defend her. Sure, she might have been broken, but all of her actions are hers to choice. She could have become better, but no, she didn't. Okay, that was a bit of a big rant. The ninja now take Harumi with them on the bounty, which crashes as Harumi is secretly hijacked. Zane and Cole go undercover with the Sons of Garmadon, but Cole gets captured and Zane goes undercover at Snake Jaguar, but has a fight with Mr. E, who damages him really bad. The ninja find him, but then they realize that the signal that intercepted Mr. E and basically found out that the ninja spies could have come from the bounty, meaning that Harumi is the spy. The problem is Harumi and Lloyd had gone off and found the Oni temple for the Mask of Hatred. So basically, Lloyd and Jay in the beginning of the season had gone to Mistake, who's, yes, the Oni warlord of hatred. I kind of ruined that for you, didn't I? But they figure out about Lloyd's Oni and Dragon heritage. But in the Oni temple, when Harumi asks Lloyd to get the mask as only an Oni can touch it, Lloyd understands that she is the quiet one and there's a game of masks. Now my boy Lloyd had one job to put on the mask, but no, he's a good guy and good guys don't put on evil artifacts. Harumi steals the mask, puts it on, beats the shit out of Lloyd, and uses the 3 masks to bring back the evil warlord side of Garmadon. Lloyd believes he can bring back the good in his father, not understanding that only the destructor part was let out. Garmadon brutally beats Lloyd and almost kills him, but the fatherly part of him makes him hesitate and he lets Lloyd escape with his life, although Lloyd has now lost his powers. Garmadon creates a colossal Oni Titan and actually conquers Ninjago. The 4 original ninjas set off to confront him, along with the baby Wu, who had been reversed in time by the reversal blade and found by Harumi. The 4 ninja and the Destiny's Bounty, along with Wu, go to fight the Titan, but they get crushed, and Jay has a packet of Traveler's Tea, manages to get all 4 of them into the place where it all began, the realm of Oni and the Dragon. Lloyd and Nia, however, believe that the ninja are dead, setting up this 9th season, Hunted. The ninja and Wu and Master Wu and young Master Wu are now, the 4 OGs are now in their first realm, and they figure out a bunch of stuff. For starters, the Oni are missing for some reason. Secondly, there's a group of dragon hunters led by this dude called Iron Baron, who basically is a dictator to all of them and treats them like shit. The ninja get captured except for Cole and Wu, who go out and figure out that the dragons out here are being hunted and killed. Firstborn, the mother of all dragons, comes just in time for the ninja to escape and figure out that there's one dragon hunter named Fate who overheard the ninja talking about Wu's parentage and wants to help them, as she hates Iron Bear because he's a horrible guy. Wu manages to learn to tame some dragons, and as you know, he's part of dragon. He manages to bond with a couple of them, but the OG4 get captured along with Fate. Wu goes there and saves them, but Iron Baron threatens to kill them unless they go to Firstborn and get the dragon armor, which according to legend allows the wearer to control all the dragons. So Wu and Iron Baron go to the Firstborn's nest, where it's revealed that the dragon armor only worked because the first ninjutsu master who created it had a good heart. Iron Baron gets destroyed, he gets melted and encased in stone, and the ninja travel back to Ninjago. While this was happening on one hand, in Ninjago, Lloyd and Nia have made a ragtag group named the Resistance, consisting of other elemental masters, Dareth, the Brown Ninja, Misako, Pixel, who's now Samurai X, and a bunch of other people. Garmadon tries to kill all of them, but not Lloyd, as his fatherly instinct still kicks in. Lloyd manages to make a radio broadcast to everyone saying that he's still alive and they're gonna fight Garmadon. Harumi dies to the Oni Titan, which is destroying a building, where she sees another family and a kid stuck in the elevator, and she doesn't want the kid to suffer the same fate, so just before she dies, she does a good thing and helps them all escape alive, but gets crushed by the building. The ninja arrive just in time to take down the Oni Titan. Lloyd and Master Wu, now in his dragon armor and grown up, go fight the Garmadon, who gets defeated pretty easily by Lloyd using the art of the Silent Fist, but not before managing to take down Firstborn and Master Wu. And by take down, I don't mean he kills them, he just eliminates them from the picture, like he throws them off the building, where Firstborn saves Master Wu. Lloyd defeats Garmadon and gets his power back, but is warned that the Oni will return, which soon proves to be true. And as it turns out, the Oni have now returned. Fate, one of the last dragon hunters and the first to believe Wu and the ninja, is now returned with an injured Firstborn from the round of Oni and the dragon, and tells Master Wu and the other ninja that the Oni have returned and have started taking over the first realm and are now spreading to other realms. Lloyd goes to Garmadon, who is now in Cryptarium prison, and releases him under the pretext of Garmadon's help. Lloyd and Garmadon together go to Borg Tower, where the realm crystal is head, in hopes of destroying it. That will stop the Oni from coming here as well. However, this doesn't work, and as the ninja go to fight the Oni cloud, it's a cloud of darkness, Cole gets sucked into the void while the ninja attempt to save civilians on top of NGTV tower. When Cole gets sucked into the void, Garmadon has basically a debate with himself on whether his being an Oni has impacted his personality, as everyone else is saddened at Cole's apparent death. He keeps telling the ninja to go on and move on because the only thing that can stop the Oni is creation. So they go to find the golden armor, which after the Overlord was destroyed was also being held at Borg Tower. Garmadon regains his power by having a mock fight with the ninja, which fuels him, and Lloyd and Garmadon enter the cloud to find most of the civilians, including Cyrus Borg, petrified, which obviously causes Pixel to be very sad. They get the golden armor, which holds off most of the Oni except for the Omega, who threatens and mocks Garmadon as they fight. The ninja barely escape with Pixel on their side, and even then her mech is almost crashed. The ninja take a final stand against the Oni in the monastery of Spinjitzu with all the civilians they have saved. Cole has survived the cloud and got through and escaped with the Earth Railroad, which is So in season 2, Nia built this vehicle called the Earth Driller back in the Dark Island, and it got, well, it must have gotten destroyed, but basically in season 10 they rebuilt a bunch of stuff, and Cole uses the Earth Driller to drill through the earth and come just in time for the final showdown against the Oni. Lloyd realizes that the complete opposite of destruction is creation, so they do the tornado of creation, wiping out the Oni. Lloyd then has a dream where he meets his grandfather, the first Pinjitsu master, and has a nice little chit chat with him, but then he wakes up to reality, I guess. And the ninja samurai, as Garmadon mysteriously vanishes yet again. A couple months later, the ninja have now gotten lazy from all their victories and decide to go questing for quests. And Pixel, who has now built them a bunch of cool new vehicles like the Land Bounty, a Titan Mech, a dirt bike, all sorts of cool stuff, and in the new hangar bay. So yeah, there's a bunch of cool new stuff. Even the golden weapons, which, yeah, I forgot to mention, Kai reforged the golden armor into the golden weapons in season 10, are now held in the hangar bay. So the ninja go traveling in a desert where they find Clutch Powers, this cool explorer guy, and they find a desert pyramid. And speaking of which, they were going to a desert. Who's in the desert? Oh yeah, this treacherous snake lady from like 1,000 years ago, who Wu forgot to mention, even though he clearly knew they were going in the desert. And I mean, okay, is it technically the ninja's fault that they accidentally released Asphyra? Yes. Are they just a bunch of stupid teenagers? Also yes. Stupid teenagers who save the world every single time. Asphyra gets released from her prison and steals Kai's power of fire and steals the scroll of forbidden spinjitzu to come looking for Wu. The ninja believed that it was Garmadon who wronged her, but when they go speak to Wu, it turns out that it was him who did all. And Wu explains his backstory. The ninja get angry at him, while Lloyd, Zane, and Nia, so Kai, Jay, and Cole go back to the monastery once they escape, but Kai without his powers, and Lloyd, Zane, and Nia go to the Explorers Club to try and find other ways to defeat Asphyra, where they get a second school of forbidden spinjitzu just in time when the monastery gets attacked by Asphyra, who wants revenge on Wu. The ninja have a showdown with Lloyd, Nia, and Zane coming in clutch with the second scroll, and they each take turns fighting Asphyra until the scroll lands at Kai's feet, but he can't do anything because he lost his power. And where Zane does a badass move of picking up the scroll, freezing everyone, including Asphyra, and saves the world, but Asphyra manages to free her hand with the scroll and sending Zane 60 years into the past, into a different realm known as the Neverrealm, where he gets corrupted by an individual named Wex, who is part of the Formlings. So the Formlings are sort of like Anima Guy from Harry Potter, but they can only transform into one being at a solid age. Wex was unable to transform, so he turns bitter and rageful towards the rest of his people, even though it's not their fault. And when he found Zane uploading a memory of himself in the case his friends come to find him, he unplugs it, which removes Zane's memories and gives him amnesia and tricks him into believing that he's the ruler of this land named the Ice Emperor. And Vex then becomes Zane's second in command, and Zane is now the Ice Emperor who has taken over the Neverrealm. The ninja, meanwhile, used the Traveler's Tea to go to the Neverrealm and try to find him, but Wu tries to stop them, and sadly is not able to, because as he reveals to Pixel, Traveler's Tea alone is not enough to come back from the Neverrealm. The ninja go into the Neverrealm and meet a bunch of villagers, where Kai is able to reawaken his firepower, albeit very lightly, until an ice dragon named Boreal, the Ice Emperor's dragon, comes and terrorizes the village, killing everyone. Freezing them in place, and Kai is unable to do anything as his firepower has not completely come back. Lloyd goes on a solo journey to find the Ice Emperor after learning about her from the village elder, where he meets a foreman named Akita, whose brother Kataru was captured by Boreal and is in the Ice Emperor's dungeon. Lloyd follows up but gets captured and meets Kataru, who's turned out to be still alive, and the other ninja, on the other hand, they took the land bounty into the Neverrealm somehow, and it crashed, but They manage to fix it up and follow Lloyd into the Ice Emperor castle, where they get attacked by Boreal. Kai, now fueled with rage, gets super angry and does a super badass burst of flame which destroys Boreal just in time for Lloyd, who's about to get crushed by Zane, when Vax says, "You couldn't protect anyone, you couldn't even protect yourself." And Zane gets reawakened by the line Dr. Julian had told him when he made him. "You're built to protect those who cannot protect themselves." Zane gets his memories back, destroys the scroll, and the ninja all reunite. And Cole, who also makes friends with an ogre on the way named Crag, the last of his kind. Yeah. So basically, here's how Ninjago works. Let's give them a bunch of amazing side characters and leave them alone after one season. Because we never see Akita, Kataru, the Phone Crag, anyone. The ninja managed to use some sort of berry, like a Neverrealm native berry, to get back to the others. And I know season 11 is a bit hated by a lot of people, but I actually found it kind of funny, even though Kai was a lot more comic reliefy, and even Jay, and most of the ninja were most comic reliefy except for Zane. I still think it was super goated season, and y'all should definitely check it out. The setup for the next season is a bit different. So basically, the way it works is Jay, who is the lightning ninja and naturally loves gaming, goes into an arcade and plays this game called Prime Empire, upon which, reaching level 13, he gets an invitation to join the game. The rest of the ninja go looking for him and decide to go find the maker of the game, Milton Dyer, at his mansion, when they get attacked by giant robot dogs. So basically, the ninja go to an arcade, find Prime Empire, and get sucked into the game as well, where there's a lot of cool stuff like customizable avatars, but most importantly, 3 key katanas which you can use to escape. Turns out the main villain or boss of this game is a character named Unagami, who was a guy in real life who got abandoned by Milton Dyer as Prime Empire was too dangerous for sucking people in, including the first video game tester ever, a guy named Scott. Scott meets up with the ninja, and Jay has his own fanboy club named the League of Jays, who are basically just a bunch of Jays from different outfits. It's kind of cool, you know? I actually like Prime Empire. It's very cool. The ninja get the first katana by killing a red dragon, where it's revealed that you only have 4 lives in Prime Empire, and Kai and Cole lose a bunch of them somehow. The second katana is obtained by being in a race. I forgot what the name of the race was, but it was something 4 billion. And they meet Racer 7, an NPC who's coded to only go through 4 stages when there's actually 7. But Lloyd does an anime motivation talk together to get through all 7. But Kai and Cole sacrifice themselves as they're being pursued by other teams. I mean, if the race team was called Fast Chickens, that kind of makes sense. Yes, the name of the ninja's race team was Fast Chickens because Jay selected the name. Makes sense. The third and final katana is obtained by Jay, Nia, and Lloyd, not before Lloyd encounters a fake version of Harumi in which he sacrifices life for Jay and Nia to go on and complete a bunch of maze challenges, just before Nia gets killed by a sushi chef, of all people. She loses her last life to a sushi chef. Jay obtains the last katana and escapes Prime Empire, but not before Unagami manages to get a bunch of energy cubes from the mechanic, who's this dude in real life who hates the ninja. I mean, he's mainly just a side villain, but he somehow managed to get Zane. So Zane couldn't enter Prime Empire, Zane and Pixel, because they're robots. They wouldn't mess with their code. So this guy captures them somehow and tries to use them to upload the energy cubes into the real one to get everybody back. But Jay, man, who's the only ninja alive, saves everyone, and they go to have a talk with Milton Dyer, who has a talk with Unagami, calms him down, and brings everybody back from the dead. As for the mechanic, we can only assume that he's been arrested. How else? I mean, this dude, I don't like this guy. He's annoying. Why didn't he even become a villain? Season 13 starts out with the ninja getting an invitation to Wanya's birthday party. Wanya is a princess of Shintaro, the very same Shintaro from Cole's mom. But Cole doesn't know all this, okay? He doesn't know. So when the ninja arrived there, Cole, on his first day, he is intruded on a room by a little purple creature who's a gecko. So there's two tribes of people, the gecko and the months, who are basically hated each other. So basically, Kong goes to investigate. The other ninja don't believe him, but him, Wanya, and Master Wu go underground, and turns out there's a dude called the Skull Sorcerer who's selling Whenstone. Now, Whenstone is a very interesting material. We've been introduced to this all the way back in like season 6. When the ninja were captured, the guards used Whenstone shackles to prevent them from using elemental powers. You see, Whenstone prevents the user from using elemental powers or even ghosts. So when Cole was a ghost, he wouldn't have been able to phase through blocks if he was in a Whenstone cage. So he's selling Whenstone to an unknown buyer who will be revealed in the future. So the other ninja go down to stop him, but they also get captured. But the ninja escape and each go their individual ways. Cole, Wanya, and Wu manage to escape and go talk to Vangelis, Wanya's dad, but turns out that he is the Skull Sorcerer and chucks all of them along with Wanya's pet dragon, Chompy. That's the name, Chompy. I have the set. It's called Wu's Battle Dragon. Chompy down into the earth of the mountain. So basically, they get sent down to hell. Kai and Zane end up with the Geckos, where Kai becomes their chancellor, and Nia, Lloyd, and Jay end up with the Months, where Nia defeats their queen, who has a crush on Jay, and Nia, who got proposed to Jay, is in season 10. Yeah, Jay asks Nia to be his Yang in the final battle. Anticlimactic, isn't it? Gets jealous and beats the shit out of her. Naturally, as any protective girlfriend would do. Kai, Zane, Jay, Nia, and Lloyd all reunite while Cole, Vanya, and Wu meet a team called the Upply, or actually the Lowly, because they were a bunch of adventurers who also got kicked down once they figure out Vangelis was the Skull Sorcerer. Cole learns about his mother's backstory from one of the Geckos. Well, actually, Kai learns about it, but they learn about it together, okay? And it turns out Lily defeated Griefbringer with 2 blades, the Blades of Deliverance, which are currently in the hands of the Skull Sorcerer, but also using an ancient technique named Spinjitzu Burst. Cole and the Lowly dig their way out of hell, who and the Lowly now consider themselves the Upply, and go to save the rest of the ninja who've been captured after the Skull Sorcerer reanimated Griefbringer's skeleton and captures them all in a cage of Whenstone. Cole steals the Blades of Deliverance and has an epic fight with Vangelis. Not before the Skull of Hazador, the skull which Vangelis is using, destroys the blades. Cole then uses the power of anime flashbacks, and by anime flashbacks I mean the one flashback when he was 8 years old, when he promised his mom he would stand up to tyrants after he got an incident report after he beat the shit out of a bully who was beating the shit out of another kid. So basically, Cole's a good guy here, and naturally, like all school systems do, don't give a fuck about the victim, but only give a fuck when the victim fights back. It sounds like the average school system, literally everywhere. Cole unlocks his Spinjitzu Burst and beats up Vangelis, and Vanya, who's disgusted with their father for being a horrible father, becomes the new queen of Shintaro, and basically has a lot of people ship Cole and Vanya, but I think it's more of a very close platonic like friendship. She did glaze Cole. She was a big fan of him, but I don't think Cole definitely, I don't think he has feelings for her either, okay? This is just my opinion. And now we enter the last few seasons before Dragon's Rising, where everything starts coming full circle. Remember Vajira the dragon a long time ago? Well, turns out there's a Merlopian prince named Kalmar who wants to reawaken her. Nia's powers start going haywire as a bunch of water signals messing up. So the ninja build a hydro bounty, except for Kai, Cole, who stay on land to protect Ninjago from any threats on land, and Jay, Nia, Lloyd, and Zane go along with Maya and Ray. So Kai and Nia's parents had come back once they figured out that Nia's powers were haywire. So basically, after the events of season 7, they'd gone on a honeymoon, and now they're back because, you can't blame them. Okay, they were forced to be not there when their children were growing up, and naturally they want to take care of them now. Well, Kai spends his time gaming with his dad while Nia's upset about Maya basically treating him like a baby, but hey, I understand. Maya sneaks into the Hydro Bounty and the ninja go investigate. The signal is coming from Kalmar's palace. Kalmar finds Nia and Maya, captures them, and talks about his plan to unleash Wajira on the surface as he hates humans. For some reason, the ninja managed to save these two guys, and turns out Kalmar was acting without the knowledge of his father, Trimar, I forgot his name. Kalmar kills him, and his adoptive brother Bentamar, who's a good guy, sides with the ninja and helps them stop Kalmar from unleashing Wajira, but turns out by stealing the storm amulet from the island of the keepers. So basically, remember the keepers of the storm amulet and the Melopians, the wave amulet? Well, turns out Kalmar secretly swapped the amulets and brings back Wajira. Bentamar talks to Nia about her ancestor Naiad, who merged with the sea. And yes, I'm pretty sure it was in a book, like the Book of Elemental Powers, that Naiad is Nia's ancestor. So Kai and Nia are actually half Melopian. Not half, like 18 centuries down Melopian. I don't know. But Nia decides to merge with the sea after seeing the other ninja come back to the surface, and Wajira starts flooding at the area. Jay gets a bunch of water in his lungs, and Nia starts feeling super bad for him and extracts the water out of him. Bentamar tries to stop Nia from merging as she loses herself in the process, but she doesn't care and basically beats up Wajira. The ninja hold a sacrifice memorial for her, and the events of crystallized. The final season of the original show happened a year after this season. Seabound. I know I forgot to talk about the island, but I'm not gonna. I did. Okay, it's very closely connected to Seabound. That's why. The ninja have now officially gone their separate ways. Lloyd decides to wash windows. For some reason, Zane and Cole are still in the monastery. Jay has gone into Dr. Julian's lighthouse and has grown a beard and is moaning over Nia's death, while Kai has now opened his own training dojo and teaches his students to beat the hell out of everyone who remotely does anything bad. So here's the funny part. Kai and Jay's methods of grieving with Nia's death is completely different. Kai goes sort of like a Cole's dad route, and he focuses on not thinking about it, but Jay focuses on only thinking about it. In my opinion, both of these are bad. Okay, but the ninja all meet up and Nia is still alive, and she's going out saving sailors who fall into the sea. When she notices the memorial lanterns, and basically she had amnesia after Seabound, but now she remembers everything and wants to become a ninja again, and she manages to drag herself into the hangar bay, and to survive, Zane puts her on freeze, like he freezes her so that she doesn't die, because when you merge with the sea, the longer you're away from the sea, the more you start disintegrating, sort of. I think that's how you describe it. But the ninja decide the only way to free Nia is by using Asphira's staff, as it would steal her powers, bringing her back to her physical form. For this, the ninja break Asphira out of prison illegally after so basically, there's a new mayor of Ninjago. I forgot his name, but he's a huge shithead who hates all the ninja because they caused public damages in the attack of Wajira, not mentioning that no one died. Yeah, the ninja saved everyone. If you noticed, I don't think a single civilian died, but this guy's a shithead who hates a ninja, so he has a bunch of shitty other guys, grown-ass men and women in ninja suits who are the new ninja. These guys can't do shit, man. They can't do shit. But the mayor obviously doesn't approve letting Asphira out, so the ninja break her out of Cryptarium prison, where she reveals she needs her staff to do anything, and the staff is in a van protected by the new ninja. So our OG goats attack this van and beat the shit out of these new ninja until their hoods accidentally become revealed. So the ninja are in like this guy's black suits. When the hoods get revealed, they steal the staff and get out of there, and since these new ninja are a bunch of assholes who can't fight, they aren't able to do shit. The ninja save Nia, but not before the new ninja catch up and arrest them, and our goats decide there's no point fighting and just resign themselves to their fate. Where the judge, who's an even bigger asshole, decides to give them 5 fucking years in Cryptarium prison. 5 fucking years. The judge should get fired. He's a dickhead. Darrett tries to act as their lawyer and tries to tell the judge to let them out free, but the judge is a dickhead, so nothing doing, and he doesn't even allow Nia to visit them. I mean, poor girl's turned into the ocean, saved the entire, not just city, saved like the entire realm, lost her memories, and when she gets back to her friends without her powers, she isn't even able to visit them. Dara tries to get them out of prison, and Nia, who's now super depressed because doesn't have her powers and can't even visit her friends, Master Wu reminds her of her Samurai X roots, where she builds a samurai mech and busts a ninja out of prison. Now, in prison, before they get break now, Lloyd gets visited by a mysterious person in a kabuki mask who warns them about an ancient evil coming back and recruiting a bunch of villains. We see that Pythor, Vangelis, Asphira, the mechanic, and a new version of Mr. E, Mr. F, that doesn't sound right, have joined a mysterious council of the Crystal King, who will be soon revealed. So once the ninja break out, they decide to figure out what's going on, and Lloyd manages to overpower the ninja. Manages to beat up the mechanic and intercept his signal to meet up with the rest of the Crystal Council members. But Lloyd's identity gets exposed, and turns out the leader in the kabuki mask is Harumi. And basically turns out after Harumi died in season 9, the Overlord brought her back, resurrected her in return for her helping him to come back. So Harumi was working all these years behind the scenes. She was the Whenstone buyer from Angelus in season 13. She was one of... There's a side character in Seabound. When Nia's powers go here, there's a side character buying Whenstone. Harumi was the supplier. Harumi was getting all the Whenstone to make an army of Whenstone for the Crystal King. So while the rest of the ninja, who are now worried about Lloyd, are searching for him in the subway tunnels, Lloyd now struggles to believe. He tries to get Harumi on the good side. Like, bro, she betrayed you so many times. She might have done a good thing while dying, but she's still a terrorist. Why the fuck are you trying to see the good in her, bro? You're an idiot. Harumi realizes that the original 4 ninja, Nia's not joined. Nia's gone back to the monastery, are now in the subway, and she drops a bomb on them, trying to crush them, but Cole holds them up with the earth punch. Kai lights the way, and Zayn and Jay, I forgot what they do, but the ninja managed to escape with Nia in help in the Samurai X mech. But when they return, the Harumis actually sent the rest of the Crystal Council after them to go to the monastery and collect the golden weapons, which they do and blow up the monastery while they're at it with Skylar Wu. Yeah, because Skylar was there, so when the ninja was stealing the staff, Zane could not, freeze her, because if she doesn't freeze, she'll disintegrate. So she'll disintegrate, and Skylar is the power of Amber to absorb elemental powers, right? And use them for a short while. That's why they call Skylar. Skylar, Wu, Pixel, and Nia are almost blown up, but they manage to escape. Lloyd taps into a bit of his destructive side and breaks out until he realizes that he's becoming a monster and holds out destruction, which is honestly stupid. Like, why? Just why? Turns out the Crystal King is the Overlord, and he's yet again come to take over Ninjago. Here's the thing about Crystallized. The Overlord, the embodiment of all evil, doesn't kill anyone. He doesn't kill anyone, no one. He could have killed Lloyd, but no, let's just keep him alive and so the Overlord's like, you can join me. Why the fuck would he join you, man? Dude, why would he join you? There is no reason to join you, bro. Literally, oh my gosh. He's the grandson of the first Ninjutsu Master. Why on earth would he even consider joining you? This is genuinely so stupid, man. Lloyd escapes, and The and Master Wu reveals that he's been receiving strange newspaper clippings in the mail showing signs of the Overlord's return. So when he and Lloyd go to check it out, turns out it's Garmadon who's living with a news reporter, Vinny from NGTV News, and Garmadon taps into his Oni form and now has a plant. A plant. So Vinny gave him a plant named Christopher to teach Garmadon how to care, I guess. And Garmadon taps into his Oni form and kills a bunch of Endstone warriors who are now released. Lloyd decides to try and learn the Oni form but is unsuccessful for the most part. The other four ninja uncover a prophecy by Quanish the Younger talking about a secret named Dragon Form. Yeah, which is performed by jumping up, kicking back, whipping around, and spinning. I know, anticlimactic. The Overlord takes over Ninjago as a whole. He sort of corrupts it, kind of like the Dark Matter in Season 2, except this time everyone is crystallized. The ninja are all scattered throughout Ninjago, and Harumi... in the Oni trilogy, Harumi was genuinely a good villain. You could feel angry towards her, because she had a broken backstory, but she was also evil. She was a good villain, alright? But in Crystallized, for some reason, she now has feelings for Lloyd? Huh? Since when did that happen? But, you know what? Forget it, Some things might change. But, okay. So, the Overlord assumes the ninjas manage to send messages to all their allies, calling the Shintarans and Mania, Bentomar, the Keepers, and the Merlopians. Even Unagami and Newton Dyer show up. Literally all the civilians who are uncorrupted show up. Kai proposes to Skylar, and, well, she kind of holds it out, but she doesn't reject him. She just says, wait till this is over, because, they like each other. So, and it's pretty much revealed that sometime between Crystallized and Dragon's Rising Season 1, they do get together. And anyways, the ninja attempt Dragon Form once more while Lloyd and Garmadon go to 2v1 the Overlord, called 2v2 because Harumi's there as well. The Dragon Form ninja beat the shit out of the Crystal Council and get the golden weapons back. And Garmadon almost gets killed by the Overlord, causing Lloyd to go into a full blinded rage where he nearly kills the Overlord after the Overlord reveals that he was the one who corrupted the Devourer. This changes Harumi's entire perspective, and now she's on the good side. Wow, perfect. Lloyd almost kills the Overlord until he sees his reflection in a mirror and does the stupidest move of tapping out of Oni form, causing the Overlord to blow him off the Crystal Temple, which is now in the air. The Dragon Form ninja combine their golden weapons, something they were told not to do back in Season 1 in the furnace, but this crystallizes them and creates the golden Ultra Dragon out of their elemental energies, which saves Lloyd, and Lloyd uses this dragon to kick the Overlord's ass and beat him up. Everyone gets saved. Harumi is now, she's with us. No, she's not, bro. She should go to jail for like 25 years, at least. And I mean, in the final scenes where they're rebuilding the monastery, we can see that the police commissioner is with her, which is good, because at least something good came out of this. But yeah, 15 seasons. Oh wait, no, there's 4 more to go in Dragon's Rising. Oh, we'll do that. Just give me a break. Just let me get some water and I'll do that as well. Ooh, I'm back, baby. And I think it's time to start explaining Dragon's Rising Season 1. So remember the cataclysmic event called the Merge that the first Pinjitsu Master predicted would happen like a couple thousand years ago? Well, that has happened, and the ninja have all gotten separated. Lloyd wakes up in the monastery, Jay wakes up in the land of madness without his memories and joins a secret service named the Administration, who's basically a bunch of dictators trying to get people to do what they want to do and erasing everyone's memories, but we'll get into that later because it's not very important in the first couple seasons of Dragon Rising. Kai has his own anime journey in the land of monsters where he aura farms completely throughout, makes friends with a dragon and a fire mech, and somehow escapes, where he meets up with Nia, who also woke up in the... So Kai, Nia, and Jay were all in the land of madness but never met. Well, I mean, Kai and Nia met, but they never met Jay. That is super surprising. Zane and Pixel were in pods inside a monastery in another realm named Imperium, Cole woke up in the land of lost things, another place which we'll come to shortly. But as of now, we're not focusing on the original six ninja because we have two main heroes now to take the spotlight. First is Aaron, the child of two loving parents who disappeared in the merge. They got sent to other realms, and Aaron grew up baking pies from his friend Frack, who's a serpentine. Next is Sora, Aaron's best friend, who lived in a realm called Imperium with a dictatress. I think that's how you say it. A female dictator, basically, named Beatrix. Well, Empress Beatrix, but I don't care about her title. Who basically tortured dragons to use their energy to turn on the lights, basically. So Sora was her original name is Anna. Anna was a genius in her class and once got invited to the Imperium lab where she figured out that Imperium runs on torturing dragons. So she decided to go run home and tell her parents, but they're also just a bunch of mindless dickheads who don't care about their daughter. So she runs away from home and changes her name to Sora, which in Imperium means free. But in Japanese, it's a gender-neutral name that means air. How do I know that? I read the Ninjago Wiki because I've been on the Wiki 2 hours a day, every day, from when I was 8 years old when I got into Ninjago. Whew. I really do know a lot of random facts about the series, don't I? So Sora and Aaron meet and they become close friends as both of them have lost their parents, although Aaron's parents were actually good people, not a bunch of dickheads like Sora's. So basically the way this starts is these two are going for a competition, a pie making competition where Aaron loses to a snail guy, and then they go for this mech competition. So Sora's a techie basically, so she makes a lot of big mechs and robots and all sorts of that stuff, where they meet a little baby dragon being chased by dragon hunters. These are not the same dragon hunters from season 9 because those guys are all reformed because Iron Baron's dead now. Well, we don't know he's dead, but these guys are Imperium dragon hunters. Okay, they're different. These guys are pure evil. And the Aaron and Sora save the dragon, but a tiger man named Roz, who's basically a furry, comes and beats the shit out of them because he's actually pretty strong and captures them and puts them in a train to take them to Imperium. I mean, now that I think about it, these guys are teenagers. Just, why do you gotta put them in jail, bro? Like, just, I don't know, knock them out or something. We'll probably forget about it. Gen Alpha has an attention span of 5 seconds. Why the fuck do you have to do all of this? They'll probably forget about it later. And these guys are in a train where Aaron talks about how he misses when the ninja were there and we're always saying the day, as we get a cool shot of Lloyd taking out a bunch of guards on top of the train and Aura farms. Also, Aaron has Lloyd's old mask somehow. Oh yeah, so when the merge happened, the ninja saved most of the people, but I guess, and it shows Lloyd saving baby Aaron, so maybe that's how Aaron got his mask? I don't know. Lloyd aura farms and cuts them free and saves the dragon, and then does a little backstory where Ryu explains that he came from a place with 7 mountains, I'm pretty sure. And then Lloyd explains how he woke up on a monastery, and then was when he found the bounty randomly. Turns out Kai was on the bounty, and him and Nia were in the Land of Madness where Kai got the bounty and was exploring around documenting all his findings. Lloyd also explains how Master Wu went missing after the merge and no one knows where he is, but before he went, he kept talking about all this stuff happening and family is key, while also researching scrolls on the Source Dragon. So, till now, the only person who knew about the Source Dragons was the first Ninjutsu Master. That's crazy. These guys have existed from the dawn of the universe, and the only one who knew about them, the only mortal. Well, the first Ninjutsu Master is technically not immortal. He's like half human, half dragon, half Oni, but still. So, these three go to the mountain place where they meet the matriarch or the Art Dragon. The matriarch is known as the Art Dragon. Also, a bit of info here. Firstborn, because a lot of people were asking questions to the writers, the new writers. about since his firstborn are dragon, and yes, she's confirmed to be the strongest star dragon out of all of everyone. So yeah, just a bit of random info there. And these guys are getting attacked. These dragons are being attacked by the Imperial Dragon Hunters and the ninja. Well, yeah, Lloyd. Basically, Lloyd carries everyone and beats the shit out of all of them. And the dragon matriarch speaks to Ryu, who tells her that he wants to stay with Lloyd, Eren, and Sora for some reason. I don't know. They go to the Land of Madness, where they see a bunch of Kraglings attacking Earth Dragons, and naturally, because till now we've only seen good dragons, so Lloyd assumes the Kraglings are the bad guys and starts whooping their asses until we see a water tornado, which is Nia, and Nia comes up, they reunite. Turns out the Kraglings are the good guys, and the Earth Dragons were stealing a bunch of mud from their Kragling mud, which is supposed to be very... Oh yeah, it's like the second time we've seen Kraglings. The first time was in Season 2 when Garmadon is in the Land of Madness. Land of Madness. God, my English is not Englishing. But yeah, so they reunite, and turns out Kai got lost and wandered off or something, and then we see Kai coming back like a comical character. And the Ryu manages to save everyone because he's somehow connected. I mean, I've seen a lot of people theorize that Bro's the new Source Dragon of Balance. I don't know how that works, but alright. The Kraglings accept them, and the ninja go traveling off to the Cloud Kingdom, which is being attacked by a bunch of tentacle monsters, where Eren and Sora find the new Master Wind, Euphrasia, who's a cloud monk, one of the writers of Destiny. So, I think I forgot to highlight that in Season 5, there's this whole story of the ninja trying to get the Sword of Sanctuary so they can predict the future from the Cloud Kingdom. So, apparently these monks are quote-unquote writers of Destiny, so whatever they write happens, but basically half the time they just write a bunch of random bullshit and don't know what the fuck is happening. Euphrasia is a good Master Wind, but honestly Mora was cooler. He had a lot more aura farming. I know Euphrasia might be stronger because she does have some feats, but Mora's just cooler. They manage to defeat these monsters, and we learn that Lloyd picks his nose and eats the boogers. Shows that he's still a kid at heart. That's pretty cool. So we go. A lot of stuff happens. Kai and Nia find Zane in a pod. We don't find Pixel, but we find Zane, and we also find the ghost of Master Wu. We don't know if it's a ghost, some sort of spirit-like thingy. And we also the ninja go to Imperium, because Roz has now figured out because the Empress wants Ryu, because apparently that's the name of the dragon, Ryu. He's special or something, I don't know. So when the ninjas sneak in, and by ninja I mean Lloyd, Eren, and Sora, they're the ones who sneak in. Kai and Nia are the monastery and finding Zane. Lloyd meets a feral wild child named Wildfire who woke up in the wildness. It's basically like, think about it like Chima, like Lego Chima, where she gets raised by a dragon, mainly one dragon named Heatwave. So basically, she is basically like a barbarian with no manners, but she can talk, and she's honestly like a much more hyperactive version of Season 1 Kai, basically. And she has the element of heat, which is basically like a downscaled version of fire, in which fire is basically stronger in every aspect, but he can do a couple of cool things, not a lot. So Kai becomes the mentor for Wildfire, sort of, and he actually helps her a lot. She has huge character development from Season 1 onwards, so Kai did a much better job of mentoring Wildfire than Lloyd did with Eren and Sora. But again, I don't blame Lloyd, he's been through a lot. Makes sense. The ninja have an epic final battle with Beatrix, except it's not a final battle because they kick her ass, but now she's looking for the dragon cores as well. So basically, we have a bunch of side quests. Kai and Wells Fargo to retrieve a core. A dragon. There's 3 dragon cores, right? One of the dragon cores where they meet a magician dude named Rama, he's just annoying. Okay, he's just an annoying guy, puppet master kind dude. Except he's not even cool. Nia, Sora, and Ryu meet Jin, the last Jin named Arakor, who's actually a good guy, unlike Nanakan. And Lloyd and Aaron meet some sea monsters. I don't know how to describe them. Meanwhile, at the monastery, we meet a frog guy named Alfonso Frohiki, who decides to be the maintainer of the monastery, I guess. And we get an emotional scene with Zane talking about Pixel. Meanwhile, Beatrix gets all the dragon cores, and Sora's jealous classmate Jordana somehow manages a 4th dragon core to power up the Beatrix's weapon that causes more merge quakes. The ninjas save all the dragons who are being held captive in Imperium, and Lloyd discovers that there's a source dragon, the source dragon of energy, who's being held captive in Imperium, mainly powering the place. Lloyd and Zane decide to try and free him, but the source dragon tells him not to, as it could destroy the balance and basically cause a whole bunch of destructive stuff. But when the ninja get the dragon cores and stop everything, also sending Beatrix and her army away, basically saving the world, the source dragon of energy sort of makes Lloyd a conduit, giving him a lot of powers, and Lloyd decides to use the dragon cores to free the source dragon, which really changes the perspective, because till now the source dragons didn't really care for mortals. Alright, sure, they made the promise to the first Ninjutsu master to give him their powers, but for the most part they saw mortals as just not caring enough. But then Lloyd, out of the goodness of his heart, decided to free the dragon because it's the right thing to do. The source dragon energy sort of starting having a soft spot for him, I guess. And the ninja, meanwhile, we also see Cole reunited because Nia and Sora met him in the Land of Lost Things, and Cole now has a new family, sort of a group called Finders, consisting of some kids, Fritz and Spitz, a skeleton girl named Bonzo, and a gecko named Geo, who's the elemental master of fusion. So basically, can put a bunch of stuff together. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. It's like a team version of technology. Yeah, Sora's the master of technology. So in season 2, we get the and it ends with Roz and Jordana sneaking away when Imperium is saved. Season 2 begins with the consequences of Lloyd being a source dragon conduit, as he starts having random visions about a bunch of wolf-masked warriors taking over the world, and Aaron and Sora decide to... Okay, I don't even know what they're doing. They just run around. Ryu's all grown up, and they see a smoke master, a new elemental smoke master, because in the Tournament of Elements it was Ash. Now it's a new guy called Cinder, stealing a mallet and gong of shattering. Lloyd manages to save them, but he gets knocked down and Cinder escapes. So it turns out Roz is trying to bring back the Forbidden Five, the dudes from a long time back. Remember, the ones who were defeated by Egon and Wantu? He's trying to bring all of them back for some reason. So Lloyd has visions about Egon and Rontu training them to defeat Shatterspin, because when the ninja go to Cloud Kingdom, Kai whoops Cinder's ass until Cinder starts using Shatterspin and basically scares all the ninja off, because Roz wanted to capture Cloud Kingdom and use the monks as sacrifices. Because in the ritual of the Blood Moon, where you can bring back someone from nether space, you need to sacrifice someone. So basically they capture Euphrasia and all the other Cloud monks as well. So the Cole and Zane go to a Mysterium, a place where we also meet Agent J, who tries to capture them because the administration is hunting them, but Master Wu's ghost sort of stuns him for a bit with visions of his lightning powers. But again, that doesn't jog Jay's memories. They just get out of there, and Cole and Zane have an encounter with Dorama. Again, he's just annoying. I'm not going to elaborate too much. It turns out Candelaria reveals that Egon and Hantu used Bonzo as a spell to defeat the Forbidden Five. So now Roz is also hunting Bonzo as well. The other ninja find Egon and Hantu and learn Rising Dragon technique, Kai being the first to learn it, with a cool flashback of him and Nia. I actually like this because it really fleshes out the sibling relationship of Kai and Nia as kids playing a game called Countershot. The ninja manage to arrive in time for the ritual of the Blood Moon, where Roz captures Bonzel and uses Jordana's knowledge of Taroxian magic to open the portal. But the ninja manages to save the monks and stop them from being sacrificed. Cinder uses Shadow Spin and nearly kills Nia and Sora and Wildfire, but Kai uses Rising Dragon to kick his ass until Roz decides that seeing the Blood Moon is almost over, knocks Kai in as a sacrifice, bringing out one of the first members of the Forbidden Five, Noct, into action. The Blood Moon is now over, and the ninja, they actually do put a good fight, but Noct is like 5,000 years old. He's maybe like a bit younger than the first Ninjutsu Master. Okay, he's as old as Wu and Garmadon. So he's stronger than all of them. So Roz's a secret force teleports all of them away, and it turns out Roz is a master who's an omnipotent being. I guess we don't know who he is, but he teleports Roz, the Shadow Dojo, Noct, and Jordana, and all the Wolf Mask warriors away. The ninja. There's the thing. Only Nia and Wildfire care about Kai. I mean, sure, Lloyd might be suppressing his grief, but Cole and Zane don't even focus about Kai. They're like Cole and Zane of all people. Like, dude, Kai has been with you from the pilots. Like, at least show some sort of emotion. Like, they were more sad about Bonzo than they were about Kai. That's kind of sad, you know. But hey, whatever. Maybe, but hey, I'm not gonna argue with this because, like Master Wu said, people cope with grief in different manners. So maybe they were just suppressing their grief and trying to look for the brighter side. Meanwhile, another space, it shows that Kai and Bonzo are reunited. Well, they never met in the first place, but they've met each other, and turns out a bit of Ryu's skill, because Ryu jumped in to try and save Kai, but he flew off when Noct came out. So a bit of Ryu's skill is stuck to Kai, allowing Kai to communicate. Meanwhile, the Source Dragon of Motion for the first time makes a public appearance to the ninja in her mortal avatar and tells them about art dragons being killed and to investigate to the tournament Temple City, where every year there's a tournament called the Tournament of Sources to celebrate the Source Dragons, and the ninja are not invited. So they go there and figure out Roz's team is also there. So basically the way this tournament works is there's a dude called Roby and his uncle Black, and there's a cup that absorbs elemental powers. If you beat another person, you get their powers, and at the end of the tournament, all the powers are distributed to the cup, bringing them back to the elemental masters. Now, from here, it's kind of predictable what happens. We get a basically season 4 type plot where at the end of the tournament, we know what's going to happen. Roz is going to steal the thing and make it not super powerful, bring the rest of the Forbidden Five back, and all that kind of stuff. We get a subplot with Aaron getting sort of going to the dark side of it, him getting manipulated by Roz into believing Master Wu caused the merge. But this all culminates with Wildfire getting a crush on Ruby, and Kai and Nia figuring out that she can use dragon horns to bring back Kai from the nether space. And Kai has an epic badass fight with Noct, where he actually holds him off long enough for Wildfire and Ruby to get the cup back and redistribute everyone's powers. Sadly, this also brings back the Forbidden Five, the rest of the Forbidden Five, and they all escape, leaving Roz and Aaron to run off because Aaron now doesn't trust the ninja for some reason. I mean, like, they didn't know. We don't even know if Master Wu caused the merge, okay? We don't even know that. But as of now, everyone's happy. And the Source Dragon of Motion thanks Lloyd by giving him a dragon icon. Now, in season 3, we got a couple of stuff happening. Frack, Aaron's friend, the master of Quake. So, like Heat is a downgraded version of Fire, Quake is a downgraded version of Earth. So, like Kai being Wildfire's mentor, Cole is sort of like Frack's mentor. I mean, so basically in the Tournament of Sources, Frack joined Roz for some reason, but he's a good guy and he realized Roz is evil, so instead of shattering his soul by using the wolf mask, he doesn't do it. Also, Jay joined Roz in the tournament and had to fight Nia where he lost because Jay doesn't remember anything and he genuinely thought that he genuinely thought the ninja were bad, and sadly he shattered his soul. So now in the beginning of season 3, we get a quick intro of a dragon named Thunderfang, one of Firstborn's first offsprings, who was general in the Oni Dragon War, where he killed a bunch of Oni. But he got cocky and wanted to become a Source Dragon, and naturally the Source Dragons disagreed, causing him to rain hell and havoc on the City of Temples. So the Source Dragon of Focus sent her mortal avatar, the Art Dragon of Focus, to defeat him and have him chained up underground with 5 chains that can only be unlocked with 5 prismatic blades. Cuts back to the ninja. So Lloyd, Aaron, and Frack are looking for... No, Lloyd, Sora, and Frack are looking for Aaron and Roz. Kai, Nia, and Wildfire are looking for Jay, and Zane... Okay, how does it go? Zane and Pixel so Zane finds Pixel, and they go on this entire adventure. Cole is back with the Finders at the monastery, or now the monastery now. So, a lot of stuff happens. The ninja meet the rest of the Forbidden Five. Rox, who's all bite, no bark. Zark, master of misfortune, he just gives himself misfortune. Drax is underrated as fuck, bro. He is legitimately one of the best Forbidden Five members, aside from Noct. And then we have Korra. I mean, she doesn't really do anything. But the Forbidden Five managed to get all of the prismatic blades. Even the ninja aren't able to stop them. Turns out Jay is alive. Kai finds him using a video game. So even though Kai makes fun of Jay a lot, he does care about him as a brother, sort of. I guess this silence shows how the OG4 sort of do have some sort of brotherhood left. The Forbidden Five release Thunderfang, who immediately betrays them and sucks their souls. Who would have thought? Like, bro, have some intelligence. This dude was chained down here because he was a threat to the Source Dragons. Y'all can't even go touch a Source Dragon, so how the fuck did you think you were gonna contain him, huh? Idiots, bro. I swear, these Forbidden Five, they're made up to be some sort of legend. They're just a bunch of idiots, bro. I swear the ninja easily know-diff these guys if they have enough practice and training in RDT. Okay, that was kind of a hot take, but anyways, Aaron and Roz go to the Spectral Lands, which is basically the departed realm, and they meet Morrow, who is now reformed and is helping the souls who pass through get safely, because there are soul-sucking beings in the afterlife who try to kill you and take your soul, just like Thunderfang does. Aaron retrieves the potion from the Well of the Lost to save Roz, because he's an idiot. I tell you, he's stupid. Roz shows Aaron fake pictures of Aaron's grave, which is, it's fake, it's not real. And the ninja everyone ends up in a climatic battle against Thunderfang, where we also meet a mercenary who turns out to be Jay. So Jay's basically a bounty hunter, and he's got a new hairstyle. He got the unagami cut. My boy's got the unagami cut. Aaron somehow manages to hit Thunderfang with the Well of the Lost's potion thingy, which defeats him and sends him to Spectral Lands, which makes him 1,000 times more powerful. Doubly move, kid. Now, again, don't blame Aaron. He probably didn't know. He was just trying to do the right thing. So, instead of Aaron joining the ninja, he again goes with Roz, and Sora decides to join him, because she's stupid as well. So, in the second half of Season 3, we realize that the only way to beat Thunderfang is by retrieving the Art Dragon of Focus again. But the problem is the Source Dragons were the ones to release the Art Dragon of Focus, and the Source Dragon of Focus doesn't want to release. So we've got a 3-for-3 vote, and since the Source Dragon of Balance is dead, the Source Dragons cannot come to a conclusion and decide not to release the Art Dragon of Focus. But secretly, Motion and Energy want the ninja to release, because otherwise Thunderfang is kind of super strong right now. So the ninja split into teams and crack down the two halves of the Art Dragon of Focus and reunite them, while Raz makes more dragon icons because he wants to be super powerful or something for his master. We still don't know who his master is. Aaron meets his Lloyd, Jay, and Nia find Aaron's parents and show them to Aaron, proving that Roz was lying, and Aaron and Sora escape from Roz, who nearly tries to kill them. Kai and Nia are in a different cave. It turns out Jay, who was being really mean to Nia, comes out and feels bad after, because she was the one person who made him feel better. Sort of. Like, she made him feel like not a terrible person. That's literally what he says. Ryu does Spinjitzu. The ninja find the two halves of the Art Dragon reunited. The Art Dragon beats the shit out of Thunderfang, and everyone is saved except now, because now the Source Dragons are disappointed because Lloyd didn't take their permission. Oh yeah, Aaron and Sora joined the ninja again, naturally. So now we have the Source Dragons of Life, Focus, and Strength leaving the council, leaving only Motion, Energy, and Flow. And now, since all the 7 Source Dragons, well, technically 6, are needed to maintain the elemental energy, we have a setup where Roz breaks into the monastery, and I guess he has like a spirit of Wu somewhere, and he managed to separate the ninjas. So we got Kai, Nia, and Jay as one team, Lloyd and Aaron as one team, Zane, Pixel, and Zane and Pixel are not there during the entirety of Dragon's Rising Season 3 Part 2 because they went on a honeymoon. Yeah, just whatever. Cole and the Finders are in the monastery, and Sora, Frack, Ryu, and Wildfire are now somewhere else. So these are the teams which leads up to Season 4, which might be one of the greatest Dragon's Rising season. This has to be the best season with the most animation, dude. So, remember all the way back in Season 2 when Lloyd drank the Tomorrow's Tea to age up? Consequences, baby. So Lloyd, Aaron meet up with Euphrasia, who somehow got all the way over here, and Zane as well, who also figured out something bad was happening, and they meet in this place called the Whispering Wood, where there are now elemental monsters. We're also introduced to Empress Beatrix's goons, who want to bring her back because they're stupid, and they've got a faction called the Loyalists. These guys basically want to make more elemental monsters to take over the earth. Take over the world. What did I say? Take over the earth. So Lloyd meets the Undragon of Life, who blames him for not coming to the Whispering Wood, which is, the thing is, when Lloyd skipped his age, he skipped over the age, because when the Green Ninja is not only the person who defeats evil, he's also the person who protects everyone from the Whispering Wood. He restores the Whispering Wood and performs the rite of unrooting. And when Lloyd took the Tomorrow's Tea, he skipped the age. So now Lloyd has to go to the Temple of the Green Ninja and undergo a lot of stuff. So I'm going to explain everyone's story one by one, starting with Lloyd, Aaron, Zane, and Euphrasia. Lloyd goes to the Temple of the Green Ninja, where he meets the age he skipped over, does a bunch of training with him, and meets his greatest foe ever, which is his weaknesses and doubts personified, and enemy Lloyd. This guy is basically sort of like a Dark Link version of Link from Legend of Zelda. If you get the reference, you get the reference. But Lloyd doesn't defeat him, and he does sort of defeat him by saying the mistakes are how we grow, and without them he would never have come to this place. And we learn a lot of sad things. For one, Lloyd is suicidal because enemy Lloyd says, let's end this. It's going to be a blessing to both of us. Meaning that Lloyd has contemplated unaliving himself, which is very sad. He also thinks that he's a horrible master. And honestly, I just think Lloyd needs a break, okay? He's been through so much. His girlfriend betrayed him, his mom abandoned him, his dad is evil, his childhood gun stolen. I think bro needs a break. Bro needs to take a break for real, bro. Actually, he's carrying the season so hard. But the Source Dragon of Energy especially realizes that Lloyd has the potential to grow, and Lloyd unlocks his new form, Draconis form, where he's full-time ore farming. He also gets a British accent for some reason. All of my fans in Britain, I'm sorry if I offended you, but that's that. Meanwhile, Kai, Nia, and Jay go to the administration while Jay gets his memories back. Turns out the administration knew about him being a ninja and wiped his memories on purpose. And they also meet a bit of the loyalists, but they beat the shit out of him until they get trapped in a cave, but they escape too. Once Jay gets his memories back, he smooches Nia for Nia and Jay make out for the whole episode, because at the end of episode 4 they're smooching, and then at the start of in episode 5 we don't see them, and then at the start of episode 6 they're still smooching. Now, considering one episode in universe is like half an hour or an hour long, or maybe a couple of hours, these two were just sitting in the administration with agents around. They didn't take out all. They took out maybe 2 or 3 agents. They were just smooching in there the whole time. I feel bad for Kai, man. Imagine having to watch your sister getting snogged by your best friend all the time. For Kai. Anyway, they get out of there, and finally we meet Cole, turns out Empress Beatrix is back, but Cole unlocks a cool new golem farm where he finally starts aura farming and almost kills Beatrix with a gun, but because of Beatrix's plot armor, for now she manages to defeat him. So she attacks Imperium with a weapon of desolation that basically causes everything to go haywire and more elemental monsters. Lloyd and literally all the ninja meet up at this Imperium somehow. They all meet up and they beat the shit out of all the elemental monsters until Beatrix uses the weapon at max power to make even stronger monsters, which even Draconis Lloyd can't handle. Well, he can, but he's being physically restrained. So he realizes the power of the Green Ninja is to connect and understand the world through other people's perspectives, and gives Draconis form to everyone else. Well, I mean, the OG ninja, like Kai, Jay, Nia, and Zane. Cole is in his golem form, so he doesn't get it. But that's fine, he'll get it later. So we finally have a scene where all the OG 6 ninja are back together, fighting together. This is legitimately one of the best fight scenes in the history of Ninjago, bro. This season was animated so well. A huge shout out to all the Ninjago animators. Y'all are doing a fantastic job. Anyway, they managed to beat Beatrix, and Sora's parents, who are also part of the Loyalists, show up the monastery. We don't know what they do because part 2 of Dragon Rising Season 4 hasn't released it. Meanwhile, it turns out Roz collected a 3rd dragon icon, the icon of focus, I believe. I'm not sure. He has the icon of strength and flow. I think this is the icon of focus. We know Lloyd has the icon of motion, but we don't know where he hit it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all of the Ninjago lore till now. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Have a great day and stay safe.